Hey, here we are once again.
Yeah, we think the audio's working.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Seems like it. What's that buzzing sound?
It's the laptop.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I'm working so hard.
Yeah.
It's doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, because right before, like 5 minutes before we went on, like Pookie decided she's like, I want to sit on the buttons. So she jumped up and sat all over everything. So I don't really know if it like adjusted some shit that I don't know about, or who fucking knows. I don't know what the hell's going on with this shit.
All right, we saw the Creepshow Holiday Special. It was good.
It was pretty good, yeah. I don't think it was as good as the Halloween one, which was the animated one, because I thought this one was going to be animated too, because I thought that was just a thing they were going to do, and I kind of liked that idea, but this one was live action.
Yeah, and it's like a mini episode, like 40 minutes long, 45 minutes long.
Yeah, I think it was 46 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, were creatures and fighting with Santa Claus.
Yeah,
and
this
Santa
one
Claus is a bad guy. It's funny. You know.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, so it was written and directed by Greg Nicotero. I guess it's from a short story. I can't remember the name of the author, because I didn't have my notes. But because we just watched this like right before we ate lunch, because we didn't watch it last night because we were too tired. Like after the show, and I was like, even if we do watch it, we won't remember what happened. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's weird because when this one first started, like it's funny and it's it's obviously going to be a werewolf story, but you don't really know what it has to do with Christmas until probably like the middle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you kind of see that it's Christmas time because there's like Santas and shit like that, but you don't really get how the two things tie together until about midway through. Like I don't want to spoil it too much because I feel like people might want to watch it and like let it unfold the way it unfolds.
Yeah.
Because
it's silly.
It's pretty ludicrous.
Yeah, it's silly.
But it knows that it's ludicrous.
Yeah, you're not supposed to take it seriously.
Like, the mythology behind it is, like, really... I mean, basically... So, it's called Shapeshifters Anonymous. That's the name of it. And, I mean, the setup of it is there's this guy whose name is Robert Weston, which I'm pretty sure that's because there's a whole bit... Like, all the characters in this are named after, like, things from other werewolf or were-creature movies. Like, the one girl that's in the group... The one woman that's in the group is named Irena, which is the name of the character that turned into a cat in Cat People, like back in the 40s.
And she does turn into a cat.
Yeah, and she turns into a cheetah. And I think in Cat People, Irena turned into a panther, if I'm remembering it correctly. I haven't seen it in a long time. And I think like the password to get into the meeting was Landis, like John Landis from American Werewolf in London. So there's all kind of like little Easter eggs in there. I think Robert Weston is a callback too, but I can't remember what it's for. And I think, like, the one guy that's in there that never says anything that's named Ryan, I think his last name is Cheney, like Lon Chaney. So, yeah, so he turns up at this meeting, which is supposed to be for Shapeshifters Anonymous, and these are all people that turn into various creatures, when the moon is full or whatever. And he has started to believe that he is a werewolf because stuff starts turning up in his poop. Like he's blacking out and he doesn't remember what happens, and then like he starts like pooping out like buttons and
zippers
and shit like
pieces
that.
Of clothing and stuff.
And he's like, I know I didn't eat this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like that part was like pretty funny. Like the whole thing of him like sitting in the doctor's office with the stool sample and like everybody looking at him and stuff. It's pretty, like I said, it's pretty gross and like pretty juvenile, and a lot of it is just set in this one room. With the meetings with them like kind of sniping at each other and figuring out what's going to happen. It doesn't really get like kind of full on horror and full on Christmas until the end. And like I said, the way that Santa relates to the were creatures is like ridiculous, but it's kind of funny, ridiculous.
This one's on Shudder. It's a Shudder exclusive.
Yeah. We'll see, with the new Creepshow show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like I didn't like it as much as the animated one, the Halloween one, the last one that we reviewed. But it's still pretty funny. It was entertaining. Like some of the jokes were pretty funny, and
it had real good animation during the intro and the outro, and it had good practical effects. It had a bunch of throwback type stuff in it and good costumes. The acting was good. It was funny. And, it was all taking place in one area. They tried to get as much as they could out of it. They're fighting off fucking whole hordes of Santa Claus, mall Santa Clauses and shit. It's just silly shit. It's funny, though.
And actually, like, it seemed like a lot of the effects were practical because there's like a lot of monster effects in it, and they were really well done. Like, you can tell it's a low budget show, but it's like they did a really good job. Yes, Robert Weston is Wolfman Jack's real name. That's right. Yeah. I knew it was something to do with werewolves.
They're asking about finishing The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian was good. I liked it.
I liked it a lot too.
Yeah. They're trying to bring Star Wars back after those last 3 movies. And trying to take it back to its roots. It was good. I liked it.
I kind of wonder if, I mean, I kind of want to talk about it, but I don't want to say anything in case like people haven't seen the last episode.
I think everybody kind of knows by now.
I mean, I'm not going to say what happened at the end, but I also like now I'm kind of wondering because I'm assuming since The Mandalorian has been so successful that they're going to do a season 3, and season 3 is supposed to be out like at the end of next year. And but I don't know if the thing that like the stinger thing that they did at the end, like after the credits,
a new show. That's a different show.
Is that a spinoff or is that season 3?
Spinoff.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Like, it seems like everybody's wondering.
They were going to make a movie on that topic. Instead, they're going to make a series.
Oh, okay.
That's how I understood it. But that's going to be a different spinoff. There's going to be an Ahsoka spinoff. There's going to be a bunch of spinoffs.
Which that's kind of a cool idea, you know what I mean? It's
as long as they can keep the quality good.
Yeah, I mean Jon Favreau seems to be like kicking ass on this. He seems to know like
he understands it.
What Star Wars people want.
And he's not directing all these episodes, so he's putting good people in charge of it. You know, he's probably keeping control of the tone. You know, but I liked it.
It just occurred to me that if the thing that they put in the stinger at the end. That kind of can't be season 3 because then it wouldn't be a Mandalorian.
Right.
It wouldn't be about a Mandalorian anymore.
Well,
so they can't really still call it the Mandalorian.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this. Yeah. Hopefully that's not too spoilery. I really feel bad if I'm really trying to like tiptoe around like what happened in case you didn't see it yet.
Yeah.
But Fourth Row Down said lots of spoilers on YouTube. I actually managed to. It's weird because we watched it Friday night. And I was already seeing people like freaking out about it, like on Facebook, even like that afternoon. So some people were watching it like earlier than me, and I was really trying not to. I was like not looking, like I was scrolling through the shit. So I was kind of hoping that I didn't get spoiled, but it didn't.
It was a good episode. I mean, it was good to kind of take Star Wars back to its roots. It wasn't a whole lot of it, but it was just enough. That kind of shit probably won't happen again.
Yeah.
But at least not with those characters. We'll see. Because they brought somebody back. They used CG with it. It looked okay. It didn't look great, but it was okay.
Yeah, it was good enough for the purposes.
For what it was, right.
I didn't mind it.
But you probably won't see a whole lot of that. I don't think they'll have a whole series about that. Although it would be wise. But how are you going to have a whole series around CG characters?
Yeah, that would get a little off-putting.
A little weird, yeah. There's kind of some uncanny valley. I think they should have used deep fake. I think that would have worked better, but whatever.
I'm not entirely sure how they did that. You know what I mean? Like I guess they did the facial mapping and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it was not a whole CG character. It was a real person. It was just like with a different face mapped on, I think. But I don't know. So like I said, I don't want to say too much, but I really, really liked how they ended up the Mandalorian. And so like I said, I'm really kind of, we'll see what happens with the next one. And I'm going to be watching that new thing. Like you said, if it's a spinoff series that they did like on the post-credit sequence, I'm like, yeah, that looks like it's going to kick ass too. Cause that's like that's a whole other plot thread that we could like follow. That's like pretty rad. So so I'm like pretty happy with the way it's going. We probably need to watch the Clone Wars. I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
I feel like we need to like start watching that. But it's it's like there's so much stuff that I gotta watch. I'm so fucking behind.
Yeah.
I'm so behind.
You gotta finish the Scientology stuff.
I gotta finish the Scientology thing. I have like a bunch of Christmas movies I gotta watch tonight to review, like 2 or 3 of them.
We gotta watch Christmas movies? More?
Yeah.
We already saw one today. What are we gonna see?
We have to see okay, well, are we going out tomorrow night?
Oh, no. I don't know.
Well, because I have to know if I have to watch.
What's happening tomorrow?
Memento.
Oh, shit.
That's tomorrow night.
All right.
So in which case we wouldn't be able to watch anything
Yeah.
because we would be out. So, so I need to watch at least one Christmas movie and maybe the retro movie, which I'm not going to spoil for people. If you're on Patreon, you know which one it is because the votes came in today. But
I'm still kind of wore out from last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I mean, I can watch them.
All right.
You can just like.
No, I'll watch them.
You can just like kind of sit there and and be like, yeah.
Just kind of fucking sleepy right now.
Glowing Turtle says, "What's the Scientology thing?" We've been watching the Leah Remini Scientology and the Aftermath.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit last night, but on the show,
3 seasons of it.
Yeah, we had seen the first season like years ago when it was on A&E. But Netflix has all 3 seasons on there, so we caught up and we were watching. I think we watched all of season 2, and then we were like, I think we just started season 3, right?
A lot of this shit, I watched it as it was happening. That's how I met fucking AGP, Angry Gay Pope. He was during that whole Scientology anonymous war that went on back in, what was that, 2009?
Yeah.
Mike Render and who else? What was Marty Rathbun, and all the weird shit that was showing up on YouTube. The Squirrel Buster War, all this kind of weird shit.
Squirrel in the tech.
Squirrel Buster War. You have to know Scientology, and you had to been on YouTube back in those days when all those executives were leaving the cult, and then the cult was coming to their houses fucking with them, and they were videotaping it and posting it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that shit's gone now. Because Church of Scientology has armies of lawyers, and they threatened to sue YouTube, and YouTube just rolls with whoever's gonna cost them, whoever costs them the most money, you're gonna bring YouTube to its knees, which kind of sucked because there was a lot of good videos of AGP fucking with Scientology guards and harassing them, and just protesting them. There was a lot of really cool protest videos. It's all gone. He was going up to Gold Base and going up into the mountains and showing all the fucking razor wire, or what they call ultra barrier, and yelling through the bars and trying to talk to the Scientologists. And Scientologists are fucking crazy. They're just wacky.
Yeah.
It's hilarious shit. Those weird corporate jargon about squirrel in the tack and fucking, what was that one? AOTC? No, what was the one where it meant like good vibes in between the two? We're just here for AARC. I think that's what it was. AARC.
Yeah, I can't remember now.
And they use all this weird technical jargon to
KSW.
Yeah.
Keep Scientology working.
Yeah, this weird acronyms and stuff to describe their spiritual technology. And what it does.
It's a technology.
Yeah. And they Scientologists fucking mind fuck each other. Even when they're in good standing, they're constantly cussing at each other and try to evoke emotions, and because to have an emotional response is considered a weakness. That's your reactionary mind, is what they called it.
Yeah.
So they're all trying to be kind of like Vulcans, and in order to
not in the cool way.
Not in the cool way though. In order to prove that you're a Vulcan is that you dish out all kinds of abuse onto another Scientologist, and if they react, then it's a weakness.
Yeah.
They just take it. It's all kinds of weird, and that's how they fight each other with their OT powers. There's operating Daytons. Yeah. Which really it ends up being basically the kind of shit you do it to each other in the Army, or they got that from L. Ron Hubbard being in the Navy.
Yeah.
They kind of do that in the Navy too. He's just giving a bullshit religious explanation for why you do it.
Yeah.
They're just toughening each other up, really,
Yeah.
And becoming immune. They're trying to tough each other up and becoming immune to insults and stuff, and knowing your weaknesses, and leaning into it so it doesn't bother you. And they make each other wear all these fucking signs like fucking dick sucker and shit. That put the fucking nameplate says dick sucker, shit eater.
Yeah, I think Shit Eater
like
was the one that that what's his face had to wear, the guy that's on with Leah Remini. It just went right out of my head.
Well, when you go on Netflix, they clean it up a lot. When it was on old YouTube, it was you hear what they really say. You know what I mean? And they couldn't really. It was coming back on them. You know what I mean? It was making them look bad. because Scientologists say all kinds of fucking racist and homophobic shit to each other.
They do indeed.
And it's homophobic as fuck.
Mike Render, thank you.
Yeah, Mike Render, yeah.
It's like we just said his name 5 minutes ago, and then it just went shoop.
Yeah. So they didn't want that getting out to the public, so they tried to stop all his videos. But yeah, they're calling each other all kinds of dick suckers and this and that, and fucking accusing each other of being fucking homosexual. But of course, they're doing it in a crude way. They get you blocked nowadays on YouTube. But back then, they were fucking saying it. It's just hilarious, because the average person who wasn't a Scientologist would see this shit, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Who are these people? That's really how I was introduced to it. What the fuck is a squirrel? What's a squirrel about? Why are they fucking going to this dude's house? Why are they spraying fucking hoses on each other? Why are they showing up with umbrellas? And why are they in a pedal boat? It's fucking just...
Well, they have their whole...
pedal boat going by. And,
they have their whole, like, a whole jargon, like a whole lingo. And it's like, if you just kind of stumble across a video randomly and you have no idea what they're talking about, because that's like all the fucking weird phrases and acronyms and shit that they use. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, and they go up to the dude's house and the dude just sprays fucking water on him, so he just stands there with an umbrella. So they're sitting there just talking, and he's spraying in a fucking... spraying the other guy's umbrella, and they're just talking to each other.
That was a Marty Rathbone.
That was a Marty Rathbone's house, and they were just
because they harassed him for ages, years and years.
Spray him, and they just fucking have an umbrella, and it's fucking ridiculous, man.
I mean, they're dangerous. I was like, but they're also ridiculous.
Fucking ridiculous, yeah.
And I kind of feel like, bless South Park, because I think South Park went a long way toward everyone thinking that they were a joke. I mean, I think a lot of people thought they were a joke before, but I think South Park like really kind of mainstreamed it.
Yeah, they're a UFO cult, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, it's a fucking UFO cult.
Yeah.
Putting big symbols in the ground so fucking L. Ron Hubbard's fucking Thetan or his fucking soul could find his way back. Because they believe that they come back from reincarnated and just fucking weird shit.
Every time they show that clip of David Miscavige back in 1986, like at the little Scientology get together, like saying that L. Ron Hubbard had dropped his body. That just like makes me laugh because I always just feel like, whoops, drop my goddamn it. It's like dropping your keys.
Well, they said he was healthy.
And he was.
But he was healthy, and he consciously dropped his body.
Yeah, he did it on purpose
to continue his training into another dimension.
Yeah, because they can't say that he was sick or that he died of a stroke, which he did. They couldn't say that
because that would disprove Scientology.
Yeah,
Scientology, you're supposed to be healthy forever, if not immortal.
Yeah. So they basically said, I mean, L. Ron Hubbard is like their deity, right?
Yeah.
So he couldn't just like get old and die like a normal person. So they had to say, well, he was still like really healthy and strong and everything, but
he wanted to leave.
He decided that he couldn't do any more like in this body, so he had to like
he dropped his body.
Dropped it. Whoosh, like a robe.
And they believed it.
They did.
They believed it.
I was like, you guys.
You could hear him going, whoa, oh, and in the audience, oh. And that's really when Scientology took a bad turn because Miscavige took over.
Yeah.
And that dude was like fucking Joseph Stalin. Look, we gotta go though. I want to sit here and talk about this, dude.
Look, we gotta go. We still got chocolate chip cookies to eat, and and I don't feel too bad, but I am still kind of sleepy. Although I did actually sleep until 8 a.m. this morning, which is really late for me. Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll just watch some Christmas movies tonight, and we can review them tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll decide what else.
Sunday, man. Fuck Sunday.
Fuck Sunday.
Fuck Sunday.
Yeah, it's always kind of like, even in our going out days when we'd always went out Saturday night, Sunday was always kind of like, blah, because we're always like hungover and tired and shit. Yeah. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow with another movie review. More Christmas movies this week because we're leading up to Christmas Day. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.